Barry Rudden here, your insurance sales mentor, with another installment in our endless series on objection avoidance and objection handling. So hopefully your eye was drawn to the slightly weird title of blood pressure and sales objections, and it's not what you think. You're probably thinking you get sales objections, your blood pressure goes up, which is true, but that's not the point of this video. What we're trying to say here is in sales, often clients lack clarity, and that's why you get objections. Remember, people object to things that we say or don't say, or do or don't do. And when it comes to objections, we talk about things like no interest and no need. You hear that a lot. I'm not interested, I don't have any need for that. And it's a perception. The client basically doesn't believe anything's wrong. And our job is to help inspire them and motivate them to realize something could be wrong in the future. Human beings tend to only deal with the urgent, not the important. We are all perpetual procrastinators. And if it's not like hair on fire right now, we tend to push it off because we're busy, or we perceive ourselves to be busy, and whatever isn't urgent gets moved over to the maybe important column, but maybe the maybe never column. So when it comes to getting objections and dealing with objections like, I'm not interested, I don't have any need for that, I don't need to talk about that, I got that covered, all the things you've heard before, I want you to think about the doctor. I want you to think about every time you go to the doctor or the nurse that before you see the doctor will check your blood pressure. So you go in for, I have the flu, or you go in for my arm hurts, and they check your blood pressure. Did you ever think why that is? There's a very, very simple reason. Doctors know that you're going to recover from your ouchy arm. And doctors know you're going to recover from your I feel miserable flu symptoms. But the doctor knows they may not see you for a year or 3. And the doctor knows that one of the main things that he or she has to worry about for you is rising blood pressure over time. That as we age, as we gain weight, as we maybe exercise less, blood pressure starts to creep up, but you may not know it. Blood pressure is referred within the medical community as the silent killer because you don't feel it happen. But while it's happening, it's damaging things like arteries, which can create strokes and heart attacks and things like that. So the doctor has said, my process is regardless of why you're here, I'm checking your blood pressure. And I want to notice the trend. Is it staying the same? Or is it rising? If it's rising, I'm going to bring it up to you as my patient, and then we're going to work on it to drive it down. And so when somebody says they have no need or no interest, you have to look at that as they're just simply not aware that they should care. So what you have to help the client understand is that even though they don't feel anything bad happening and therefore don't have any concerns about their health, there may be something happening within their body that's damaging them that they should be concerned about. And what you're ultimately trying to get them to do is allow you to perform an examination, which in this case would just be, putting the blood pressure cuff on in the doctor's office. For your case, it would be doing some type of insurance analysis, assessing their risk, assessing their resources available to address and offset that risk, and if there's any shortfall that needs to be closed. So from a language standpoint, you're actually going to say to the client something to the effect of, I can totally understand that if nothing bad is happening at the moment, you may not feel any urgency to address your risk management program. But what I can share with you from working with other people is that the moment something bad happens, the first thought you have is, oh my God, what money do I have access to? What are the resources I have access to? What can I tap into? What do I have? What coverage do I have? And at that point, we all know it's too late for them, right? And so what you're trying to do is create urgency for them to act by making an analogy between the doctor always checks your blood pressure to catch something bad before it happens. And so what I would say is, Mr. Client, I totally understand. This is not urgent because you don't feel like anything bad's happening right now. You don't feel bad financially. Nothing bad has happened to you. But just like the doctor always checks your blood pressure to catch this silent killer before it damages your body and creates something really serious and grave that could kill you, like a stroke or a heart attack, they check your blood pressure to catch the thing going on. So what I'd like to do is sit down and have a discussion with you, for example, about what you could say to the client is, for example, about your income replacement plan. That's something we teach a lot, to talk with clients about their income replacement plan as opposed to their life insurance, their disability insurance, things like that, because people are going to get put off by you wanting to talk about products, but they're going to be attracted to you wanting to talk about their plan, okay? And so what we want to do is have the client feel like this is a logical thing to do, very similar to what we do in the medical side of things. Remember, your family doctor, your general physician, they're concerned with your physical health and well-being. You have to see yourself as the money doctor, concerned with their financial health and well-being. And you're making that analogy to both establish you as a professional on par with that medical professional, and to have the client see the logic of coming in and having that conversation to catch something before it's a problem that they cannot recover from. Just like once you've had a stroke, you've had a stroke, right? Could cause permanent physical damage. Once you've had a heart attack, could cause permanent physical damage or even death. And so you're trying to get them to see that that's the same thing. Let's take it from the top all the way through, from you offering the appointment, the client objecting, and then you responding using the blood pressure analogy. So it would sound something like this. You've made the offer of the appointment. The client comes back and says, no, I don't really need that, or I don't have any interest in that. I totally understand. There's nothing bad happening right now. Life is good, which is really a wonderful thing. But I'm in the think ahead to what might happen business. I work in a similar fashion to your medical doctor. They're trying to catch health issues before they become a problem. That's why they check your blood pressure every single time in your office, to catch that silent killer of blood pressure rising gradually over time and damaging your arteries while you don't feel it, which could result in a stroke or a heart attack. It's really the same thing with insurance. We want to catch a gap in your risk management program before it damages you, before you have the loss and suffer the financial consequences, the financial devastation. We want to make sure we've taken care of that before it's a problem and don't have to actually suffer the actual consequences. So why don't we go ahead and kind of have you come in. Don't worry, we won't make you wear a silly gown. I won't use a cold stethoscope. My questions are going to be my diagnostic tools when we have that conversation. And then I would just give them the appointment offer choices. So your takeaways, and I believe that when you're dealing with a client situation live, you have to have a set of bullet points in your mind that you can quickly access to use effectively. So your main bullet point here is, I hear no time, no interest. My mindset is, oh, this isn't a priority for them. And so my thought process is, I've got to bring my blood pressure analogy to bear on this situation and get the client to see the comparison. That's the analogy's purpose, is to see the comparison between physical health and financial health and addressing an issue before it becomes a really big problem. So make sure to use this blood pressure analogy anytime you have the no interest, no need objection, and I think you're going to have fantastic results. So if this has been helpful to you, if the analogy really resonates with you, comment below. Let us know what you think about this. Let us know how you're going to work with this analogy into your practice. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and got value out of it. Please click the subscribe button so you can continue to get more of these videos as they come out. And to make sure you get notified each time they come out, click that little bell icon and you'll get notified the next time we release another video.